Hi friends, welcome back. It's Meridy here with Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and today I'm going to teach you how to put together the Hippity Hoppity Page Kit from Not Just for Boys. First, I'm going to show you what is included in the page kit, and I'm going to start with the embellishments. So the first thing you are going to get is a set of Pink Fresh Some Days Light Blue Puffy Sticker Alphas, and there will be tons left over to use after you make this page kit. And then you're going to get this Not Just for Boys. It's 3 pieces of little tiny fabric carrots. They're so cute. And you're going to get a set of finishing touch pearls in the Hippity Hoppity collection that matches this kit. They're just flat back pearls and they coordinate with this kit. And then you're gonna get 6 doilies, I believe they're 3.5 inches. 3 of them are white and 3 of them are light blue. And then the last embellishment that you're going to get is a 12 by 12 sheet of a cardstock cut. And I designed this, and I'm gonna show you how exactly we put it together when we get into the video, but basically it folds back to form an egg and a bunny, like a bunny inside of an egg, but I don't want to fold this one quite yet, not until we get to that point in the video. But that's why it might look kind of funny, because it's just a half a bunny and a half an egg cut into this paper, but I will show you how to make it work in the video. And the next thing that we can go over is the papers that are in this kit. And you're going to get 1 sheet of the new My Favorite Easter by Echo Park. And 1 sheet, this one is called 4x6 journaling cards. And 1 sheet of the My Favorite Easter Sunny Floral by Echo Park. I love these little blue bunnies. They're so cute with the little white tails. You're gonna get 1 sheet of designer cardstock from Echo Park. One side is light pink and the other side is light blue. It's from the My Favorite Easter line as well. And then 1 sheet of the My Favorite Easter 3x4 journaling cards, and it has little carrots on the back. And then 2 sheets of white cardstock. And these are all the pieces that you're going to get in your kit. You're also going to have a sheet of double-sided full color instructions printed in there. And on the back side of those instructions is going to be cutting guides for you to tell you exactly how to cut your papers. It actually shows you, there's photos of how to cut your papers on the back. So that's what I'm going to go do right now, is go cut my papers down to size, and I will be right back. All right, I have all of my papers cut, and the first thing that we're going to start on is this cardstock cut and folding it and inking it and doing all the things to it. So this very first step that I'm going to tell you is optional. I am doing it on this layout in the video, but you can see a photo of what this looks like without this step for my original layout photo that has my real pictures on it. So you can pick which way you would like to go. But this is how it's going to work if you want to do this step. So the paper facing the correct side up has all of the cuts on the left-hand side of each egg. So you can see the left hand of each egg and the left-hand side of each bunny is cut. So this is the front of the paper, but we are going to flip it to the back of the paper. So it's backwards. Okay, and what we're going to do is ink up some of these eggs. Just the egg, it doesn't matter if it gets on the bunny part or out here, because it's not gonna show on the front side. We just need to ink up the back side. So I'm going to use a few ink colors. I'm using Twisted Citron Distress Oxide ink and just a blending tool. And as you can see, I'm just quickly coming in and inking up the egg. And it's fine that it inks up the little bunny, but as long as you get the whole egg cut inked, that's all that you need to do. So let's see. I'm gonna randomly do a few colors here. A few eggs. I have 3 different colors of the ink that I'm using. I'm gonna use this Twisted Citron. I'm going to use Scattered Straw for some of them, and I'm going to use Stormy Sky for some of them. So just randomly pick which color you want. So not really a pattern, just random. So I'm going to come back when I have all 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all 20 little eggs inked. I'll be right back. Alrighty, we've got all of these inked, and now we're going to flip the paper back over to the correct side, which will still all be white. And then you're going to need some kind of scoring blade. Whether you have a trimmer that has the scoring blade in it, or you want to use an embossing stylus, somehow you're going to need something that can score. And what you're going to do is score only from the bottom of the egg to the bottom of the bunny, and then from the top of the bunny to the top of the egg on every single one. So you're just gonna score there and there. You're not gonna score this bunny. And I will show you why, and I will show you what I mean. Let me do this row, and then I'll show you what happens. So you've got these scored, and you're going to fold back the side and use a bone folder or something similar to a bone folder. I'm just using this because it's sitting here on my desk. And when you fold back the eggs, the color that you inked on the back is going to show on the front. And then at this point, you can actually adhere these down so they're not flapping up. So I'm going to adhere them down using double-sided adhesive because it's quick and easy and I don't have to wait for it to dry in this video. You might want to use liquid adhesive because they eventually will want to pop back up with double-sided tape. But I do not want to wait for liquid adhesive to dry while I'm making the video, which is why I'm just using double-sided tape for the purposes of this video. And you can see this one already wants to pop up. And you can be a little more precise if you're using liquid adhesive. But I'm just using that for now. So I'm going to do all of the rest of these. I'm going to score them first and then fold them back, and I will be right back. Alrighty, I have all of those inked up and adhered down, and the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to notice that this cut may not be exactly in the center of this paper, so you're going to trim the sides that need to be trimmed to make it centered. So I am going to trim a little bit off of this side and a little bit off the top and a little bit off of the bottom because we are going to mat this on a paper that we've gutted. So we need to have these little borders, and in the process we're cleaning up the off-centeredness that this cut might be. Yours might be perfectly centered, it might be off-centered just a little bit. It just depends how it got cut. And after you get it more centered, so now it looks like there's an even gutter border around all four, you're going to take this double-sided, it was pink on one side and blue on the other, that you've gutted this paper, and you can either mat on the pink side or you can mat on the blue side. It's up to you. I'm going to mat this one on the blue side. So just put a little adhesive on all four sides and get it matted on there. Okay. Next, you are going to take For my videos, you may know that I don't use real photos when I'm filming my videos. I just use this paper to represent the photo. So you are going to take that photo and mat it on what you have gutted. It's the inside of this back paper. Pink on one side, blue on the other side. And mat this photo just a little bit on either side, the pink or the blue. It's up to you. I'm gonna use the pink side for this because I think it will pop a little bit off the other layers if I use pink. And then once you get the photo matted with a little border, then you can trim that on your paper trimmer. I didn't have this cut of pink in your instructions of how to cut the paper, just because I wasn't sure if you're working with a 4x6 photo or 5x7 photo or whatever other size. So I just didn't have you cut the actual mat in your instructions. Okay, and next you're going to grab this bunny paper cut. You have two of these. One is taller. You're going to grab the shorter one. And you're going to mat your whole picture right on there. And I kind of did it skewed a little bit, but you can do it straight or skewed, whichever you prefer. Okay, and I realize that we haven't filled in these yet, but it's okay. We're gonna fill them in, don't worry. At the end, we're going to fill them in. Now you can get one of your white doilies and one of your blue doilies. And kind of adhere those, or you don't really have to adhere them yet, kind of just lay them out where you want them to be. The next step is going to be some fussy cutting. And the things that I fussy cut to go as embellishments on this side are this little bunny and the Hippity Hoppity Easter's on its way, and I cut them separate from each other. I cut the bunny out, and then I cut this little saying out. I also cut these little Easter eggs out. I cut this label and the flower. It says "Such a Sweet Day" and the flower. And then I cut this little duckling out and the flowers, just around the flowers. I fussy cut all those things. And I kind of tried when I was fussy cutting to savor the edges. I'll show you what I mean. For instance, this one right here, I want to use some of this pattern paper to back these little eggs. So I cut in from right here. I didn't cut across this big, huge section because I want to use this. I cut in from the short edge. Same with this little guy. I just cut in right above the flowers from the edge. So this one doesn't matter so much because it's a white background, and this one doesn't matter so much because it's a white background. But for those other ones, I cut in from the edge to fussy cut them. So let me go fussy cut those, and I will be right back. Okay, I have one more thing to add about cutting these. You may want to cut these apart before you start fussy cutting. It may just be a lot easier. And actually, we're going to use this journaling block on the other page. So it will be so much easier to cut all the details out of this sheet if you have got these cut apart. I just wanted to say that. Instead of trying to hold the big giant paper and maneuver it around and back and forth, it will be way easier to just do it just holding this card in your hand. So I wanted to say that, and I will be right back when I finish. Okay, so these are fussy cut, and I'm gonna kind of lay them into place where I want them to be. One thing that I want to tell you is do not throw away all of these little scraps where you fussy cut things from, because we're going to use them like this and this, we're gonna use them. Don't throw them away. Just had to tell you that. And this one too, we're gonna use the Happy Easter on the other side. So now we can start adhering down, and I'm gonna start with the back layer and work my way up. And I know that there's big giant gaps, again, behind here. We're going to cover those eventually, just not right this second. So we can start from the back and move forwards. And we're gonna wait until after we put the whole backing on here and get everything ready before we add our title, because there's too many gaps, like the little title will just slip through. And see, now you can see like some of the eggs that are in behind this picture, they're not even showing. So we don't want to waste time backing them if they're not even going to show on the layout. So it's kind of a good thing that we didn't back all of those yet. I'm gonna move this up a little. Okay, and then this bunny, and then I am gonna pop 2 of these Fussy Cut images up on Pop Dots. I'm going to pop up these little eggs and this little Hippity Hoppity Easter's on its way. Just to add a little depth in here. You don't have to do this part, as always. But if you like dimension, then you might want to. So after we get this portion finished, we're gonna actually put this side of the layout off to the side for a little until we get the other side of the layout done, and then we're gonna come back and finish backing these little bunnies, or the little eggs and bunnies. And then we'll add the title and the little pearls at that point too. So we'll put this off to the side, and we will start working on the other side of the layout. And the other side of the layout is going to, the back of that is just going to be this white 12x12 cardstock. And I used 4 3x4 pictures. But you could use 2 4x6 pictures, like 4x6 up and down, or 2 4x6 pictures this way. This layout is really versatile and forgiving to use many different combinations of pictures. And then we're gonna get this other piece of the bunny paper. This is the bigger piece of the 2. That's gonna go under here. And then we're gonna get this card, and I'm just gonna cut. I don't want to waste the words gathering eggs or this little basket, but I just want a little bit of peach showing out of the corner. So I'm gonna do that. And then this piece that we already cut the little chick and all the flowers out, we're going to use it. But I really wanna savor this Easter Wishes. This layout right here that we're working on is like all about using every single scrap of this paper in this kit. So I'm gonna save that for another layout in the future. And this, I think I can cut this little flyaway off. He's just gonna sit right there. All right, let's see, got some more. This is the journaling card that I used, and I am going to mat it on this pink paper. The pink, it's pink on one side and blue on the other. And I'm gonna mat that and trim that. This is just a scrap because if you remember, all of that double-sided paper is just used for mats and it's all little scraps. So it won't be needed for a particular size. And then we are going to switch to this cut apart sheet. And we're gonna cut a few things out of this. We're gonna cut the Hip Hop Hooray. We're gonna cut this little bunny. And again, I'm gonna try to savor these edges to use on the other page. And we are also going to cut this Happy Easter. Remember, it was the second half, the eggs came off the bottom. And we're going to cut this little bunny. I didn't even worry about the word Hello Bunny, but you can include the word Hello Bunny. I just cut the bunny. So I'm going to go do that off camera and I will be right back. Okay, I've got all of these fussy cut and save this. And this little piece, you're gonna just cut the bottom across because we're gonna use this, but save this part. And then pick whichever one of these is your least favorite. Don't pick this one. We use a lot of this outside pattern to back the eggs. But out of these other 4, pick your least favorite one because we're gonna use the back side of it. And for me particularly, I don't have any pictures that match with the daffodil card. So I am going to cut the daffodil card and use that for the back side of that because I feel like I can fussy cut these other ones and get good embellishments out of them. So I am just going to use the daffodil card for its back side for this. And we are going to use this on the other page. So you may as well just go in right now and cut this seam out, giving it a teeny tiny little border of the plaid from where you cut, because we're about to use this plaid scrap on the other page in just a minute, so I may as well cut it while I'm here. And you could save this for another page, but we're gonna use this. Okay, and then this paper right here. Wow, everything has kind of moved on me. Let me get it back lined up. So those go there. This little peach sticks out from there. This one is gonna stick out right there. This goes in here. Okay, when you have everything to the approximate place that it goes, I personally want to, oh, I forgot to add the doilies. There's a blue doily and a white doily on this side as well. The white doily is up here. Scooch everything up a little. And the blue doily is sticking out under there. So for me personally, this part right here, instead of moving all of this off my page and trying to get it all back right, I am going to adhere not to the back, but all these layers to each other. And I know it might seem kind of overwhelming to do that, but to me, I don't want these to get all moved into different places. Like, I like the way it looks. So I'm going to adhere them all together, but I'm not gluing them to the background page quite yet. So, which is kind of, sometimes this can prove a little difficult because I'm just putting, you know, a tiny bit of adhesive on this picture just to get it, but it's just to tack it into place. We will put more adhesive on when we go back and adhere everything down for good. But for now, move this up just a little Okay. So I have this all adhered together, how it's going to eventually sit on the layout, and I'm going to take note with a pencil approximately where the corners are of this, because we're going to come in and add some ink, and I want to make sure I'm inking in the right areas. So I'm just kind of marking the corners. Just approximately. This doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. But I can at least see where the pictures are going, so I'm not wasting too much time inking all over the page. And then I'm going to grab the same 3 colors of ink that I used on the other side. So if you use different colors than me on the other side, I would use those same colors on this side. And this time I'm going to use these kind of blending brushes. I'm going to start with the blue color, and I'm just going to put some ink on the page. This will make everything just pop a little bit off the page nicely. So I'm gonna speed this up while I work. And as you can kind of see here, I'm trying to blend from one color to the next, so it doesn't look like a harsh line between the two. When the color changes color, it's more of like blended. So I'm kind of going like over the last color a little, like right there. I kind of went over the green, and I'm gonna go over it on this end too. Hold on, let me get rid of that dark spot. These Distress Oxide inks blend pretty well. They're really malleable. I love them. And remember, all these dark spaces where I first put the brush down, those are going to be covered up by the pictures. That's why I'm starting kind of underneath where the pictures are going to go and working out, because I don't want these dark beginning splotches to be seen. And I think this is about does it. And I'm gonna grab my, this is why, another reason why I taped everything together. It's easy to grab it, set it down, and see how it looks. Like in case I needed to add a little more ink somewhere. I'm gonna add a little more blue over here, I think. But other than that, I think this looks pretty good. It's hard when it gets close to the edge for me, but I think that helped a lot. Okay, and like that little brush mark there, it's gonna get covered up right like this. Okay, so you've got all that done, and I'm gonna move these off to the side. And now you can put a lot of adhesive on the back of this, because like we barely tacked some of those things down on the edges. So now we can make everything very adhered to the back, on the back I mean. And just put the whole entire thing right on the page where it goes. And next, you're going to need to add your fussy cuts that you've done. So you might want to, maybe we should lay these out before just automatically adhering them. Let me lay the rest out. Hip hop hooray. Happy Easter. Okay. And then I adhered both of the bunnies, this bunny up here and this little jumping bunny. I adhered them flat to the back of the page, and then the Hip Hop Hooray and Happy Easter, I used dimension. Popped them up with a little dimension. So and you can add your journaling to the journaling card right here. Actually, I wouldn't add my journaling first. If you have a long title like I did, my original pictures were my little boy's hands were just covered in Easter egg dye. So my title was I love these little dyed hands, which is fairly long, but there's so many letters in that alphabet sticker sheet, you can make a long title. But let's say you want to make your title Hippity Hoppity, Easter's on its way. I'm not sure if there's enough letters to do that, but let's just say that the title is fairly long like that, like mine was. I made the title start up here and it went down, and parts of it were on this journaling block. So I journaled after I added my title because some of the letters were overlapping the journaling block. So I think we could add a title right now, and let's see. I wonder if Hippity Hoppity Easter's on its way will work. Let me count these, just 1 minute. I think it will work. I'm going to do that off camera though, because it's such a long title, but I definitely would use a Thicker's alignment guide like I'm going to use, or wax paper or something to get your title lined up before just sticking it down on the sheet. So I am going to go do that off camera, and I will be back when all of my title is down. Okay, it worked. Hippity Hoppity Easter's on its way. And just so you know, there are also apostrophes in this alphabet. So you could put the apostrophe for Easter's and its. And the last thing that we're gonna do to this side of the layout is add these finishing touch pearls, which always give me a hard time because my nails are long and I have a problem picking them up. So I will use my little tool that is very helpful in picking them up. And I just glue them down with glossy accents. I'm just gonna okay, I was in a scrapbook group, and someone commented that they got these little nail polish holders to hold their glue upside down from Amazon. Oh my gosh, they are a game changer for me, especially for my Eileen's tacky glue, because I store it upside down because tacky glue is so thick it takes forever to go right side up. But these are genius. They just hold your glue. They're on Amazon. Yeah, I just had to say that. I think I had to buy it in a 4-pack. It was 2 pink ones and 2 white ones, and I think they were like $12 or something for all 4 of them. And I gave my daughter the pink ones so she could use them in her bedroom with her nail polish. And I kept the 2 white ones for my glossy accents and my tacky glue. And then put a few of these here. I already know where I want these to be because I'm looking at, you know, my original layout, but you might want to place these all down before going straight to adhering, to make sure that you like where you've got them. But like I said, I am referring back to the original layout that I first designed with my pictures, because that's how I work. I pick out the products that I want to use in the kit, and then I make one layout with my own photographs, the sample layout, And then when I make the video, I just refer back to my original sample layout where to put everything and how to teach you while I'm making the video. And then once you get all these little pearls on here, this side of the layout is complete, but we are going to go back to the other side of the layout. Oh, and then also don't forget your journaling. And then we're going to go back. The journaling can be done now because the title is there, so now I know exactly where I could write on this side. We're going to go back to the other side of the layout and back it with the scraps of all these things. And we're also going to add pearls and a title to this side. So I'm just going to kind of leave the pearls here for now. And we're going to grab all these little scraps from pieces we have cut. That and, oh, I've got all kinds of scraps happening over here. And I've got to get to them. They're all buried. Okay, I think this might be most of them. Alrighty. And what we're going to do is cut little scraps. They only need to be big enough to cover the open hole. So, and these are all the same size. So it's approximately not even 1 inch by just over 2 inches. So if you can get a little scrap that's almost a whole inch by 2 inches, then that is what we're looking for. If you can get that on there, that's awesome. So I'm gonna cut this one down. I think I can use those 4. And then I'm just gonna start adhering them to the back. So I'm going to put this pattern right here. So we flip the layout over to the back side. And then I'm gonna put another one over here. I think I did not cut these. I think I cut these exactly 2 inches instead of a tiny bit bigger than 2 inches. I did not listen to my own advice when I was cutting these. So I'm going to use these other ones to cover up, like down here at the bottom, there's just a tiny bit showing of this egg. I'll show you what I mean. See, it's just a little tiny bit showing. So that's how I can use the ones that aren't the right, that I didn't cut the right size. And then I'm going to cut this pink one. Make sure I cut it plenty big this time. And I'm going to back a couple in this. Okay, and then this yellow, let's see, yeah, I can get one out of there. I'm gonna flip over, and don't worry about if you have adhesive going off the edges here. We're going to cover this whole thing with the last sheet of white paper at the end of this layout. So it's going to like keep all these little tiny scraps from flying away and peeling off. And I'm, again, randomly doing this. It's not in any sort of pattern. I'm just randomly placing these down. And then this paper here. We got quite a few of this pattern. I'm going to use the other side showing, the little flowers showing on this one. Let's see here. Use the flowers showing there. This is just a little scrap, but you could tell it doesn't need to cover the whole entire egg because there's already stuff covering it. So I can put that there. And then same with these two bottom ones. Like you hardly need a piece, just a little tiny scrap to cover that. Now, when I made my original layout, I did not do it this way. My original layout has full covers over every single egg because I didn't know when I was making my original layout like exactly how everything was going to be laid out. So I just want you to be aware there is plenty of scraps to cover the whole entire eggs. There's plenty of them because I did that in my original layout. And then this little guy needs a little covering right there. And I think all of them are backed. Yep. Some of these are popping up because like I said, I used just tape to tape them down. You might really want to consider taping them down with glue, liquid glue. Okay, so now that you've got all of this backed and all of the back is just crazy looking, but I don't want all this popping out. That is really not cool. So we have one more sheet of white cardstock in the kit that you haven't used yet. And I'm just gonna trim a little off two sides so it's not, so I don't have to fight so hard to make it line up perfectly when I adhere it to the back. Oh, that was my ghost window sensor going off. It goes off randomly all the time. Okay, so we're gonna flip this over and I'm just gonna adhere this just like that to the back so it just covers all of these things. It's just so much better to protect the back. Little pieces aren't gonna fall off. The little glue sticking out isn't gonna stick to everything that's under it. And it kind of makes the layout a little bit more sturdy. All right, the only thing left now for this side is adding a little title. I put Easter and then the year up here. So let's do that. I'm gonna get my handy dandy reverse inverted, whatever they're called, I don't even know, inverted tweezers. They work so well for placing alphabets to me. Oh, I really hope there's enough letters because I think there is though. E-A. And I put the year on my layout with the pictures, but I'm gonna leave the year off of this photo of this layout right here. Because there is no picture on here and it will be whatever year you want, but there is a set of letter and there's plenty of twos. So you can make 2012, 2022, 2002. There's plenty of every single number to make any year that you want on there. So I just put the year right under here. And then the very last part of this layout again is going to be these little pearls. And again, I would maybe lay them out how you want them before going straight to the adhesive part like I am. But I think that this is about it for this layout. I will put still pictures at the end of this video. There'll be still pictures and close-ups. And then you also have a photo of this layout on your instruction sheet that came with your kit. And there are pictures of both this layout and the one that I made with the photos on our website, like on the product that you bought. And we keep those on there even after the kits sell out. We still keep the listing up there so that you can refer back to the pictures that are in that listing. So it will still be on there under Hippity Hoppity is the name of this kit. So if you search Hippity Hoppity, you'll be able to see it. Oh, I almost forgot two little things that are so important. These little carrots, they're so cute. I can't believe I almost forgot those. Okay, this is my other glue holder so that my tacky glue is always ready to pour and I don't have to wait. And these two little carrots just overlap each other. These are so cute. I saved the orange one to use it on a layout that I'm gonna make with scraps from these. Actually, I have two layouts planned from my scraps of this kit because there was such good stuff to fussy cut that I'm making two more layouts. Although I am gonna have to pull cardstock out of my stash for the base of those layouts. But there was just such cute stuff to fussy cut on all those leftover journaling cards that I found enough for two layouts. And I will try to post those during the month of March on our Facebook community group. So if you aren't part of our Facebook community group, you might want to join. It's just called Not Just for Boys Community Kit Club, Not Just for Boys Community Group. Not Just for Boys Kit Club Community. Something with the word community. Sorry, I'm mumbling over my words. But we have lots of inspiration in there. You can share your layouts in there. I would love to see what pictures and what you did with your kit. If you either did the same that I did or did something else totally unique. And our design team posts layouts that they do that are unique to these. They're not these same ones. And we post extra sneak peeks there, and everybody's really nice on our community group. So we would love to have you there. But this is the Hippity Hoppity Page Kit layout, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.